Copy.
Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Ray, and this is another segment of Ray's podcast. The NFL playoffs are here. We're back, and it's time to get it rolling. Who will be the Super Bowl champion this year? It's going to be tough. It is going to be tough. I do not know. It's a little tricky, but I will say this early. I think an NFC team will win the Super Bowl, and I will tell you why into this video. Jumping right into it though, what it is and what it ain't. If you don't like what I gotta say, join the debate. Copy. Okay, so let's recap for some of my early predictions in the beginning of the year. I said that the Browns would make the playoffs, being that Baker Mayfield will ball this year. That didn't happen. The Browns didn't make the playoffs. That was a fall off. I also said that the Jets were possibly making the playoffs. They didn't even make the playoffs. The Patriots were number one. I had the Pittsburgh Steelers being number one in their division, but the Ravens were there, which I also said that the Ravens can be number one. They can be number one, and Lamar Jackson will be in your top 10. Lamar Jackson is in your top 10. Maybe he's your best quarterback or your top 5 this year. But the Pittsburgh Steelers did not make the playoffs due to Big Ben injury. What else to cap it over? I said that the Cowboys would win the division. They didn't win the division. It was a total fall off. And the Eagles were in the playoffs. I had the Giants being number 3 and the Redskins being number 3 as well. Had the Rams making the playoffs. The Rams making the playoffs and the Seahawks being number 2. And the 49ers being number 3. Rams didn't make the playoffs. 49ers won that division, and the Seahawks are in the playoffs, but now instead of them winning that division, they are number 2. Lots of things that's been happening in this season. It's been a great season. The Packers won a division. Like I said, I got that right at least. I'm not going to count the Patriots winning the division because we all know the Patriots always win their division. But the Chiefs won their division, and they are number 2 in the AFC, being behind the Ravens. The Packers have they got a bye as well with the 49ers. The 49ers, let's see what they do. I've been talking bad about the 49ers all season long, but not talking bad about it. I just said that they have to show me. And they're still in the playoffs, and I know that they're number 1 in the NFC. They have the best record, and I still believe they still have to show me. But great season so far, but we about to jump right into it, to my predictions real early. This weekend, we have the Patriots versus the Titans. Now, Tannehill has not been doing good in his career against Tom Brady, but that's just because he was on the Dolphins. Now, speaking of the Titans, I talk bad about them. I had the Titans being last in their division. I did not expect a quarterback trade. I did not expect Tannehill being the quarterback for the Titans. I talk bad about the Titans, and I will say it right here on camera. I apologize to the Titans players, to the Titans fans. The trade was the best thing that can happen this season, and now they're in the playoffs, but they run into a Patriots team, a team where you have to go to Foxborough, and that's tough. This will possibly be the only game that Tom Brady will be playing at Foxborough. Some people are saying it might be his last. I don't know about that. The Titans had a good year. They have a great running back. Their defense is doing good. Everything's looking good for the Titans, but you got to go to Boston. I don't think it's going to work out. The spread is negative 4.5. I think the Patriots would take care of that game. I think they'll possibly cover the spread. If they don't, it is what it is. I think the Patriots will win that game and move on to the next round. After that, who else is playing tomorrow? We have the Buffalo Bills versus the Houston Texans. Now, if there's going to be any upset this weekend, I think it will be the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills have shown a lot of us that we have to believe in their team. Their defense is there. Their quarterback is a great game manager. They have running backs, veterans, and they have Singletary who's being a young stud. The Bills are a good team. Now the Texans, they are getting back J.J. Watt. They are getting him back. He has been out since October. He wasn't going to return this season, but he's coming back. J.J. Watt, he's that type of guy. But I don't know. I just feel like if there's going to be any upset, see, people are going to say that the Eagles can beat the Seahawks. I'm going to get into that, though. Being that because they're going to be in Philadelphia. But I think if there's going to be any upset this weekend, I think the Bills can get the job done. They're plus money line for all my gamblers, my people that follow me for my gambling picks. I think the Buffalo Bills, that's who I'm going with. I like the Buffalo Bills head up to beat the Texans. After that, Sunday, what we got going on? We got Who that said they're going to beat them Saints. We got the Saints versus the Minnesota Vikings. Kirk Cousins is having a good season. It's 8. The spread is 8. That's a lot of points. But then again, is it really a lot of points? Being 2 years ago, the Saints, Stephon Diggs was talking all that smack. He was, but he had the right to. The walk-off game-winning touchdown catch from him. We know how that happened. Easily could have went a different route, but it didn't. The Vikings won, and the Saints want their revenge. Drew Brees is breaking records this year. Michael Thomas broke records too, the most receptions in the season. Some say that they may got cheated last year against the Eagles, no pass interference call. I think if any team that's the most scariest team right now in the playoffs, other than the Baltimore Ravens, I think it's the Saints, and I got the Saints beating the Vikings. That spread is a tough one because the Saints could possibly blow them out the water. This can possibly be the last game being in New Orleans as well. I think the Saints will take out the Vikings. This has been a great year for the Vikings, though. I'm not going to lie. They had a lot of ups and downs. They had a chance to win the division. Injury at the end will being that their running back, Cook got hurt, but it's all right in the playoffs. I think that was my scary team too, the Vikings. But I didn't like that they matched up with the Saints. And if any team that can take out the Vikings, I think it's the Saints. After that is the showdown. Now this all determines off the tight end because they already played in the beginning of this season. It's the Eagles versus the Seahawks. Right now I'm gonna get it out the way. I like the Seahawks to beat them, but the Seahawks have a hard time guarding tight ends for some reason. I do not know. A lot of tight ends have did great things against them over this past season. So their running back's not going to be there. The wide receiver's not going to be there. The Eagles have the injury bugs. But we got to pay homage to Carson Wentz for what he's did this year. Being at all the injuries, being that he had tight ends, playing wide receivers. The Eagles have the championship DNA. They do have the championship DNA. But it wasn't with Carson Wentz. It was with Nick Foles. But being with that said, I like the Seahawks to beat the Eagles. Everybody been waiting for. Everybody always been asking me the whole year, who's your pick? Who's your Super Bowl pick? Now in the past, my football predictions have not been that well. It has not, and I will just say that for the record. But this year, I'm in another bubble again. It's very tough again. But I'm going to give you guys a prediction. First thing I will say for Patriots fans, you guys are not winning the Super Bowl this year. To scratch that off the bubble, the Patriots are not winning the Super Bowl. We will have a different champion this year. And for 2, I think an NFC team will win this Super Bowl. I do. I think that's the better division right now. I think there's a lot going on in that division. A lot of great teams. You do not know who's a clear favorite to get to the Super Bowl in that division. And I think anybody that gets out of that jungle, I think that team will win the Super Bowl this year. And let's just jump right into my Super Bowl prediction, my 2 teams, and my pick. Obviously in the AFC, I like the Ravens. They're the scariest team right now in football. They have a great quarterback. I told you earlier in the beginning of the year that Lamar Jackson will be in your top 10. It's looking like he's the best quarterback this year because he's going to win MVP, and we all know that he's a clear-cut favorite. The mid-season trade to get Marcus Peters was a great pickup for them. And Mark Ingram he's doing good. You got Robert RG3 there, even though he doesn't play a lot of playing time. They be having the Wildcat set, their tight ends doing the defense, the complete team. The Ravens, to being honest, they're the best team in football right now. Honestly, if we're just going to be honest. And then in the NFC, this was a tough one. I've always been talking down on the 49ers. I've always been saying they got to show me, and I'm still going to stick with that, and I still say they have to show me. I like the Saints. Now, this is why I'm picking the Saints. This is it. This is it for the Saints. This right here, this season right here, determined. This is it for the Saints. 2 years ago, you lost off. Everybody wants to say it was a lucky catch or a bad play. Last year, you guys believe that you got cheated off the passing interference, even though Drew Brees, you did throw an interception, but it doesn't matter. The passing interference call did determine the game. Drew Brees breaking records. Michael Thomas is the best wide receiver. Kamara's coming back feeling like himself again. The defense is looking good. This is it. So I'm going with the Saints to get out that jungle and to get to the Super Bowl. And I feel like they can win the Super Bowl this year. I do. I really do. So that's my Super Bowl pick. I like the Saints versus the Ravens. I like Drew Brees to finally get it done. Finally to get it done And that's just that. Another sleeper team over there is the Packers. The Packers finally have a they finally have a defense. That's what they always needed. The Chiefs got a bye too as well. The Chiefs have a bye. They're looking good. Patrick Mahomes got hurt in the beginning of the year, but now he's back and they figured their way out. They beat the Patriots, and that's just something that we need to watch out for the Chiefs too in the AFC as well. But that's why I got my two teams right there. I got the Ravens versus the Saints. Let's see how it goes this first week. Obviously, you have my picks. I like the Bills to beat the Texans. I like the Patriots to beat the Titans. I like the Seahawks to beat the Eagles. And then I like the Saints to beat the Vikings as well. What it is and what it ain't. If you don't like what I got to say, join the debate. Cop.